Okay, hello, greetings and welcome. Alright, so we just covered the video on energy sensitivity and methods for achieving success in Qigong. Now we'll go a little bit deeper. We're going to look at how to distill the energy, how to release time on energy to move it from Jin to Qi. So you have this vital energy feeling when you focus your will on the breath, condense your willpower in the space between your hands, just outside of your body in the ball. And that expanded space increases sensitivity outside of your normal nervous system. If you concentrate Qi on the body, the familiar way of feeling through your sensitivity of your fingers dominates the experience. But if you concentrate your awareness outside the body and the will and the breath outside the body, your astral and spiritual senses wake up because your physical senses aren't used to dominating this space between my hands. It's dominating the surface of my body. So to develop Qigong, you need to get your mind outside your body. If your mind is inside your body, you'll be bound to your normal physical sensitivity. And this is why most Qigong people who do Tai Chi fail through the Tai Chi model, is because they're paying attention to the conditions inside them, and that's Tai Chi. That equals failure. You need to pay conditions to outside yourself first. Condense your will and energy between the hands. That's outside you. The mental space expands, the energy condenses, and your spirit senses go, listening energy arises. I can feel that. So as this listening energy arises, you get an automatic sense of, wait a sec, this is outside of my normal sensory system. So being outside of your normal sensory system, you achieve a much faster growth development for listening energy, for sensitivity. Okay, so this listening energy and being outside of yourself allows you to feel vital energy. You're condensing your will in the space between your hands. The reason why we do it between the hands are the most sensitive part of the body. So from the physical through the astral to the mental, as above, so below. Your physical hands feel physical things really well, your astral hands feel astral things really well, and your mental hands feel mental things really well. So when we stretch into that space, we start activating our astral hands and our mental sensitivity. And now we can start to feel Qi. It's a very simple law. So don't pay attention to the conditions inside your body, pay attention to the conditions outside your body. They're being generated from inside. So there's this balancing act. But to feel Qi in 10 minutes, you have to be outside of your body. If you're inside, you're not going to feel anything. Your physical neurological system is going to control how you think, feel, and act. You stretch outside, your astral senses will start to feel energy. Your mental senses will start to feel energy. And this is where listening energy in Tai Chi arises. Okay, so now we want to take this willpower, this breath, and this condensing in the space between your hands by opening the joints. There's vital energy. We want to convert it into Qi. How do we do that? The first thing we do is we condense the vital energy, and like water, vital energy clings to itself. So it'll become like a ball of water very, very quickly, a magnetic fluid, as Franz Baden calls it. This magnetic fluid condenses and takes form vitally and automatically starts becoming astral. By becoming astral, it's taking on personality traits of your subconscious mind and belief structures about what Qigong is. It starts radiating into it and giving it a personality. To make this process happen really fast, we need to release time to move from Jin to Qi, from vital to astral. To release time, we slow everything down. So you go to the feeling of life force, you condense it into a ball, like you're playing with a water balloon that's got a surface tension to it. Then you have to slow that down. You breathe into the energy. At the end of the in-breath, you stop. You stop the mind, you enter the stillness, and everything's quiet. You release time. That feeling of timelessness and that stillness, you breathe that out through the energy until you get to the end of the out-breath, and you slow that energy down, and you complete the slowing down by entering the stillness again. You recalibrate deeper into the stillness. It's much easier to go into the stillness when you're not breathing. That's why deep levels of breath work, it feels like you're not breathing. You're breathing in so slowly in and so slowly out, the chi condenses. So we want to slow the breath down. People with a high level of cardiovascular fitness can do this much more easily than a very unhealthy, unfit person. And I've taught this to a lot of people, so I can see the effectiveness and the endurance. Cardiovascular fitness matters. Do some sort of cardio every day, whether it's walking, running, cycling, something to get your heart and blood racing and get yourself fit. You'll have a much easier time practicing Qigong. So we breathe the vital energy in, we pause, we hit the emptiness. And then we breathe the vital energy out, we pause, we hit the emptiness. And we keep moving forwards and backwards through this slowing process, this releasing time. As we release time and the energy gets slower, the energy thickens. You think, why is the energy thickening? Is it condensing? That's part of it. But when you're in a physical body that's subject to the time and space of now, and your mind and feeling is in a place that has a much slower time continuum, the energy appears to get thick. You feel this energy is getting really, really, really thick. Now, to make that energy thick and dense, you need to put it under stress. And this is what we use the Fa Jin exercises for. I don't teach Fa Jin for martial arts. Martial artists learn Fa Jin for martial arts. That's not why I teach it. I teach it to develop people's awareness, so people can expand their mental, astral and physical sensitivities and understand the spiritual path. Because when someone puts their body weight on you and stretches it through to your feet, and you do the first transformation, release time, and you put stress on your astral body, the tenacity and strength of your astral body gets stronger. That means your spiritual sensitivity increases, your spiritual insight to be able to translate spiritual knowledge increases, your ability to understand people around you, your compassion increases. Because of this astral energy is occupying more space with more power, you become an alpha tuning fork. You can support people who need your support. You can help people who don't understand a particular topic. You become a better person, you become a better teacher, and you have a better life. You understand the rules of life. Okay, so this first transformation of releasing time, thickening the energy, you'll get to a base level of doing that through stress adaptation. Now, various forms of stress adaptation. So let's say I'm doing standing Qigong exercises, and I've got my arms up and I'm doing my standing practice, and I feel there's, 1 hour I'm standing, I can feel this amount of stress. 2 hours I'm standing, I feel that amount of stress. You're essentially doing a marathon run. You're a long distance runner. But if you want to be strong really quickly, who's the strongest? Sprinter, powerlifters, short bursts. And that's why Fa Jin, you'd get a person who weighs 80 kilos, they stretch their weight through your body onto your feet, and you stretch and do the first transformation, you get an electric arc, kabang, in your body. And yes, it's contrived, yes, it's mechanically controlled, yes, it has a shunt in your body. That's okay, because that electric spark that happens puts a type of stress in your mental, astral and physical body that makes you strong. Marathon running will make you strong slowly, but you'll never have this high peak that a sprinter has. Now, a sprinter that is very good at sprinting and occasionally, maybe once a week, goes for a long run, he'll have both ends of the spectrum. He'll have endurance and he'll have the peak. That means he's more powerful on both ends. Now, the endurance runner has a stable, lasting energy, but you can achieve that same equal thing by just doing one long distance run a week rather than doing 4 or 5 long distance runs a week. And this is just the way the internal energy system works. You don't need power to endure for days. You need power more in peaks. When you're doing healing, you need to achieve a peak really quickly. When you're transmitting energy to a student, you need to reach a peak really quickly. When you take in knowledge from the Akasha, from emptiness, and you pass it into you, you need to do so very quickly. there's a flash. The peak of that flash on an energy transfer matters. So this flash is far more important and far more valuable to you than endurance work. The reason why endurance work is good, if you can't feel anything, you're going to have sensitivity arise by just relaxing and standing. The sensitivity is going to arise slowly, naturally. And, Ma Yuling, he said it took him 10 years to feel qi. He was doing endurance work and he was slowly tuning into feeling. And he said it was 30 or someone said 40 years to cultivate the qi. Whoa, that's a long time. And why? Because he was self-taught. He was teaching himself how to do these things. This process of feeling qi is measured in minutes. The cultivating in the qi, yes, that is measured in decades. But if you have your science correct, you feel qi the first time you do it. If you've smoked a lot of marijuana in the past, it may be a bit slower. I found some heavy smokers, not all, but some, they have a tar around their body and it buffers their feeling of energy. So these are the only failures I've actually had with heavy marijuana smokers, where they just can't feel energy. And they create and imagine there's lots of energy, but they're not really feeling energy. But everyone else seems to go straight into the energy very quickly. Very, very few failures outside of that category. Okay, so energy sensitivity, condensing the energy vitally, releasing time, making it astral substance. And then once you have the astral substance, you're doing the Fa Jin. More technical, it's called Fa Qi, because your astral is Qi, Jin is vital, so you're working Fa Qi. And this spark between your physical body and your astral body creates a very high amplitude of energy, and you have power that comes out of it. So this is the fastest way to develop. I'm not a big believer in standing practice. Once a week is all right, if you want to go out on Sunday morning, but it's not the fastest way. I've met people, and I'm talking about over 100 people, who have been standing for a very long time, from years to decades, and very few of them have got deep energy benefits from it. Their fascia is strong, but they've got tension in their body, and they're not on the right track from doing the standing. Very few of them are on the right track. So standing I don't recommend it. It's an advanced practice when you got it right. When your mind knows how to focus on the qi, you get more qi when you stand. If your mind can't focus on the qi, you don't get more qi when you stand. You get more of how you think, feel, and act. So focus on how you can think, feel, and act to generate qi. Okay, then do that standing. Then you'll get there. Okay, thank you for your time, and see you on the next video.